Welcome to I Am a Solution Show. I'm your host, Coach Juan.
I'm your host, Coach Moo, and today we're going to talk about how we could be a solution to this community violence, how we can prevent violence, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we talk about mentorship. We talking about all the great things mentorship offers our community, and we also have a super special guest.
Super duper.
Everybody's gonna love. We're gonna pick his brain for a little bit and just see how he got to where he is, and he's on the upward trajectory. And when we reveal who this is, you'll know exactly who we talking about. But before we get into that, we're gonna talk about mentorship, bro. Like
mentorship. Let me say this, man. Mentorship doesn't get its due respect. That's
critical.
I mean, when you talking about like you want to do a mentor program, people just kind of smirk at it like mentor program. Like to me, that is the most effective type of program to prevent these kids from following the wrong path. Like mentorship is so important, man.
So why do they be side-eyeing the mentorship?
That's deep. I mean, you know why? Because
it works.
It works, and the people who are really in the dirt and the mud with it, aren't the people who get the resources or out in the forefront for the people with the resources to come and just hand it to them. You know what I'm saying? So like mentor programs is a big deal. So we definitely need to jump into that.
So let's just break it down real quick for the people like we did last show. Like, so what is a mentor? And from your perspective, what is a mentor?
Man, a mentor is a role model. Somebody that is out here being positive. Somebody who is giving back to their people. Somebody who is striving for greatness. Somebody who's trying to lead by example. Yeah. Mentor is someone who, really. A mentor is someone who really is trying to be their best self and then show the people that they are surrounded by how to be their best self. You know what I'm saying? So I think a mentor is extremely important for the youth these days. When we talking about the youth, mentor is number one in my opinion. What you think, mentor?
So for me too, I agree with you. A mentor is somebody who deals in truth, and who can convey and relay that to the youth in a way where they can get it. Mentors lead by example. Mentors are positive individuals who can pull positivity out of negative stuff, so you can learn and grow. Because that's what a mentor is supposed to do. It's supposed to give you some tools and some things, some skill sets to help you navigate through manhood, womanhood. That's why it's called mentor, right? And so I break it down, MEN, men, right? You need a man, you need a strong woman who can demonstrate what a man is, what a woman is. And then if you just think about a tour, if you taking a tour or something, you're learning about what this specific space is. And so as mentors, we supposed to demonstrate and lead our youth in the way and where they should go. Now, if you're a mentor, then that means you've been ahead of the youth. So, all the pitfalls and things you teach from that. All the mistakes that I made, I teach from that. So the people, the kids, the youth, the parents that are following me don't fall into the same traps.
So let me ask you, who are some of the people who mentored you that like influence you in a positive way?
So I always got to shout out my pops, you know, and my mom, you know, because they did a great job of just preparing me, not allowing me to have everything all the time when I wanted. Just had me build a resiliency to, you know, just myself, you know, just having self-control and understanding. Sometimes you got to work a little harder for things, but then, you know, just, you know, let's just
Outside of your parents.
outside of my parents, you know, we used to come to the Y, you know, Levi, Terry, them guys,
Brother Lodge.
you know, when you got young mentors, you draw the young people to you. You know what I mean? And they see you, you know, you dressing cool, you got the cool little stuff on. The look draws you first, and then the conversation draws you next. So those guys working in the Y, and then some of the guys in the church, like your Isaac Comptons and your Ray Johnsons, and you know, those younger but older folks. I always hung out with older guys. None of my friends are really my age, so, you know, pretty much. And my older brother, he taught me a lot. I learned a lot from him.
Big bro, that's my man. Yeah, it's for me, I think outside of my parents and like my siblings, I would say I had different mentors that had impact on my life at different times in my life.
Okay.
So like when I was younger, I'll say from about 6 to 12, 6, 13, you know, Homewood football is where I received a lot of mentorship outside of my siblings and my parents.
Yeah.
I'll say Coach Eck. Coach Eck was real big, man. Coach Eck used to run Homewood football when it was the Stingers. He was a big mentor for me. Coach Doc, Coach Lonnie, Coach Hawkins, all those brothers, you know, kind of instilled in me some values that I still carry with me today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I see how they maneuvered. I see how they always try to be positive. You know, Coach Doc always used to tell me, like, my dad, he was like, man, your dad never had nothing negative to say about nobody.
Yeah.
He always used to tell me that, and you know, that was a real strong message to me, because, you know, sometimes you can feel a certain type of way about people who, you know, got ill intentions towards you, but I understand being a leader, the type of message that sends across when you're positive all the time.
You got that type of temperament.
Right. So like, I think, you know, that they definitely impacted me. Then when I moved on to high school, you know, I was at Westinghouse. So it was teachers and coaches.
Yeah.
Favorite teacher, Dr. Spencer, rest in peace. Like, I remember one time I was in school, you know, and I was a smart dude. You know, I graduated number 2 in my class.
Okay, Coach.
At Westinghouse. And I remember my senior year, you know, I'm trying to get these scholarship money for college, and I went to, you know, one of my teachers, a white teacher. I ain't gonna say her name because I don't want to blast her. White English teacher, you know, who I thought, you know,
had your best interest.
Had my best interest. So I went to her because I needed a recommendation. I asked her for a recommendation, and her response to me was, why don't you ask Dr. Spencer, because she thinks highly of you, right? And at the time, I just was like, oh, all right, I'll ask Dr. Spencer. Right. But I didn't think about. I didn't think like that, right? Yeah. Because, you know, I'm young. I'm like, oh, all right, shit. Let me ask. I told Dr. Spencer, I was like, yeah, I asked so and so, can she write me a recommendation? And she said, go to you because you think highly of me. Dr. Spencer was in the middle of her class. Stopped the class, stormed out the class, went down to this teacher and checked her. Because at the time, you know, Dr. Spencer was like the OG in Pittsburgh Public School.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She taught my dad.
Okay.
So, you know, she'd been there for a minute. So, you know, that right there showed me, like, damn, this is a cruel world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you think people got your best interest, but they don't. So her love for me and her mentoring me let me, like, put my radars up.
So the first teacher you went to, what was your reasoning of going to her first?
Because, you know, I got A's in her class. I always seemed like we had a good rapport with each other, and I was like, you know, let me just go to her.
There was like a level of trust that you had.
Yeah, it's a level of trust that I had, and there wasn't no real reason. It was just on, you know, I think I had her 9th grade. I had her like it was one of the teachers one of the teachers that I kept having.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you had a relationship with her. You felt like you could trust her. But so, how did you feel after?
After, like, I didn't feel no type of way when she told me to go ask Dr. Spencer.
Right. So after Dr. Spencer.
After Dr. Spencer checked her and was like, you got a student who is one of the top students in the school, positive kid, never gets in trouble, this, that, and the third, ask you for a recommendation, and you turn them down and say, go ask another teacher. So then when I thought about it, I was like, that is wild, man. Like, and then I'm like, this is a teacher in our schools whose kids love her.
Yeah.
But this is that undercover hate that been going on in the school, and to me, that's a prime example of it. Yeah. Like, so I never forgot that moment, and it had me thinking different when I was in any type of arena. When I was in college, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like my antennas was up, you know what I'm saying? So like Dr. Spencer was a mentor, Mr. Young, rest in peace, Mr. Young. He was the principal of the school all the time, man. Okay. Like, these is people who advocated for me when I was in school, and when I graduated. They was checking in with me, making sure I was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so is that a teacher's job? I mean, because a teacher is a mentor, right? And a mentor is a teacher at the end of the day. Yeah. But let's talk about the teachers in school. Do you think that it's going above and beyond their job to do what they did for you, or is that should be standard across the board?
I think it should be standard across the board.
Yeah.
But we all know, like, current day, the teachers that just punch in, punch out.
Right.
They getting a paycheck. Like to be a teacher, if you want to be in that field, I think you have to go above and beyond, especially when you're in our communities. And there's been so much lack of resources to our education system. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you come into our communities when you know that they haven't been getting what other communities have, you need to go above and beyond.
You have to.
Because we got to catch up. So if you don't go above and beyond, I'm already looking at you sideways. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but then, so the teachers, and then I can't forget Coach Webb, man. Coach Webb was a big influence. Coach Dill, Coach Keno, Coach Whittick. This is all while I was in high school at Westinghouse, so they influenced me a lot. And then when I got into college, I had this one African Studies professor at Temple University. Man, he
was thorough.
I'm not even gonna tell y'all some of the stuff he was telling me, because I don't want it to be taken the wrong way, but he was telling me some stuff about how to just get through college. Yeah. Like what you gotta do to get through college, and he gave it to me raw, man. And like, I needed that, and I think if I didn't meet this guy, this was when I was at Temple University. If I didn't meet him, I don't think I'd have made it through college. Yeah. But he gave me a different mindset. So like, and he didn't have to do that. He could have just been a regular professor. So So mentoring is big. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why it's important, bro.
It impacted you. Look what you on right now.
Yeah.
It's like, it impacted me. Look what I'm on right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. And to me, I think those mentors deterred us. Like, I wasn't always on the straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, people would be surprised if I say, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't always on the straight and narrow, but I think.
But that's the power of mentorship, though, bro. Yeah. Like, it causes you to change your perspective, because one conversation with your professor, now you're able to look at college in a different way, and now you're able to move a different way. Same thing with me. Like, I'm running around in the streets doing these certain things because it's available. But, one conversation with my old head, one conversation with one of my mentors, and now I'm able to look at myself different, and I'm able to look at our community and neighborhood different. And now, instead of being a part of the problem, which we all know are issues, especially if you're in the community, you know the issues. Now you could start focusing on solutions, which we're doing right now.
Yeah, and mentors influence.
Absolutely.
And that's why we have a guest here, because I think he influences the youth the most in Pittsburgh.
I would agree with that.
One of the.
He's one of the most influential young guys coming up. Who has pretty much the whole city and even beyond, because he does a lot of work in other states and other cities. Yeah. But when you got the youth you got the next few generations. So
when you got the youth, that's the foundation.
Absolutely,
it's the foundation. I tell everybody all the time to keep it in football terms. I tell people in my organization, the Baby Twerps is the most important level team in the organization because that is the foundation.
Absolutely,
they all move up. So if your Baby Twerp, this is a key to the leaders of the organization. If your Baby Twerp is strong, your organization is going to be strong for years to come.
That's what it is.
They move up. So, without further ado,
yeah, and just to add on that, if you want to change a community, if you want to change a generation, you start with the babies.
Yeah.
You know, and you teach them, and you water that seed that you taught them. And this young man we're about to bring up is one of the seeds we watered. You know, he's very, very inspirational. He's younger than me, but I find inspiration in him, you know. And we call on him every chance we get. You know, we want to support this young man. Every chance we get.
Everybody, like any young brother or sister, man, trying to make moves, everybody should be supporting them. Because they could be in the streets.
They could be.
They could be in the streets. So if they're not going that route and they doing something positive, man, you should go out your way to support them. You should never hate. You should go out the way to support them because they the future, and like we in a race and we losing.
I swear we are.
You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's bring in the man of the hour.
Yes, sir.
Bring out DREAMSHOTS.
Get a clean shot, dream shot to shoot him, might as well blank the screen out. Most exclusive angles, dream shot gon' bring the scene out. Brought the whole team out here. Dream shot, dream something bigger. Ayy, dream shot, pull up getting highlights on them hitters. Ayy, yeah, all the clips gon' be crispy when you get it. Ayy, dream shot, yeah, long live but it business. Ayy, yeah, we been filming all the ballers in the city. Ayy, dream shot, cameras rolling, brought the whole committee. Ayy, Pittsburgh, PA, the 412 with it. Anytime they see dream shot, they know it's gon' be lit. Ayy, hit us while you can, boy, you know we gon' be busy. Ayy, too much motion with it, boy, they know we gon' be dizzy. Ayy, dream shots, know we on they top like a fitted. Ayy, pull up with them cameras rolling, you better come with it. Ayy, you, dream shot, heard you ballin' out, hit up twin, get a clean shot. Dream shot to shoot it, might as well blank the screen out. Most exclusive angles, dream shot gon' bring the scene out. Brought the whole team out here. Dream shot, dream something big. Ayy, dream shot, pull up getting highlights on them hitters. Ayy, yeah, all the clips gon' be crispy when you get it. Ayy, dream shot, yeah, long live but it business.
Welcome our guest, John DREAMSHOTS. He's here, you know what I mean, representing, and you know, we're gonna talk to him a little bit, just get to know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And see what he does, you know, how he mentors these kids and how he influences these kids to keep them in the right path. You know, we're gonna talk to him about a few things. So, my brother, welcome. Appreciate you coming out on short notice, yes, especially. So tell us a little bit about DREAMSHOT and the DREAMSHOT brand and what all you do for it.
Mm-hmm. So I go around recording any type of sports. I do photography outside of sports too. I just want to travel, create, and work for myself for real, mm-hmm. and definitely keep the youth motivated.
Entrepreneur. If people wanted to get in contact with you to utilize your services, what's the best way for them to do that?
DreamShots Media on every platform. I got my own website, DreamShotsMedia.com.
So they can go on Google and just put DREAMSHOTS Media and it'll pop up. Mm-hmm. What's your IG?
DreamShots Media.
DreamShots Media. So everything is DreamShots Media.
DreamShots Media.
So DreamShots Media, y'all tap in. You do like posters and stuff like that.
Yeah, you do any type of anything you need, y'all get it done.
I do know that because I use your services a few times. It is official. I ain't gonna lie about that. What you got for him, Coach?
So you do a lot of photography work, a lot of video work. Did you go to school for that? How did you get started on doing all that stuff?
So when I was playing Little League, I started editing my own pictures, trying to make graphics. Mm-hmm. Then I found like an interest in that, so I just kept teaching myself.
Okay.
Who's some of the people that influenced you in that realm?
When I first started, I don't even know how I really started. I just started doing it. Then when I picked up a camera, definitely Vernon Young Jr.
Okay.
VYP, shout out to VY.
Vernon Young, trendsetter right there. Yeah, that's the guy right there.
I swear.
So yeah, like if one of the main things one of the main reasons why we came up with this, the I Am a Solution show, is because of this violence in the community. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like how has violence in community impacted your life?
So when I was young, my dad died when I was like 9. Mm-hmm. That's when I started being bad for real.
Yeah.
But once my family kept me out of the community for real, that's when I settled down more.
Yeah. And who stepped in? Like first of all, I'm sorry for your loss. I knew your dad. That's definitely a good brother. So when that happened, who kind of stepped in as the male in your life to like influence you not to fall in the path to the streets?
Definitely my uncles, granddad, football coaches, any sport coaches for real. Yeah. Teachers, can't get teachers too.
So do you feel like, being that, I operate with a lot of the youth sports, Coach Juan operates with a lot of the youth sports and mentoring, do you feel like that's an effective strategy to curb youth violence and to stop the youth from following the path that lead them to the streets?
Yeah, because it's keeping kids busy. Then now how sports is set up, there's more opportunities even at a young age.
Mm-hmm. Through your travels, what kind of opportunities are available, through the youth sports platform?
So I did go out Florida for the tournament, and a 12-year-old just got offered by Miami.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's major.
That's huge.
Offered a scholarship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. D1?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, man. And that shows you the impact that the sports has, because a lot of people like to downplay the sports, right? Mm-hmm. But, our goal, we was talking about this prior to the filming, that our goal, we do want every kid to go pro, right? Mm-hmm. But the reality is every kid ain't gonna go pro, right? Yeah. But all the other stuff that they get from the sports, like you started off in the sports, right? Mm-hmm. And now you one of the top youth creators, visual artists for real. Mm-hmm. Like you one of the top, you work with the Steelers, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So they started a girls flag football high school. Okay. And they contacted me to cover that for them. Then after that, I just built a relationship with their youth department.
Crazy. Steelers got at you from the stuff you was doing with the youth.
Yeah.
So that you got it from the mud, did it yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Your creativity, man, got you to that point. Mm-hmm. That right there is impactful. And we see it all the time when you be at the basketball games, when you be at the football games. Yeah. You see the kids wanting to grab the camera. Mm-hmm. And I know there have been a lot of people before you, right?
Yeah.
I do the film. Coach Juan.
I used to watch his videos.
Coach Juan was definitely the one. I definitely stole some of Coach Juan's ideas. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? But
that's what we do it for, man, to motivate.
I feel like after you got on the map, the floodgates open. Yeah. Like everybody wanted to pick up the camera. Like I'm just thinking about, I've been running an organization for over 15 years, and how it was like 1-2 people cameras. Yeah. Now it's like, you go to a game, it might be like 30 guys with camera. I think you had a lot to do with that, man.
But here's the difference. See, when I had the camera, it was me, and then it was like Vernon Young.
Yeah.
Vernon was a little younger than me, and he used to always be like, yo, and I used to give him pointers and tips, and I just saw him out there being hungry, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna put him on. I'm gonna give him the right information. Really cool guy, in the military, family guy, and he loved the community. And so the difference was like we were adults, but now you see teenagers,
Truth.
younger kids picking up the camera. I got kids right now following the middle school basketball team. They're 9th grade, 10th grade, and they attribute that stuff to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so we really believe that your example is an example of leadership, of mentorship, you know, of just consistency, of great quality work. And these are all the attributes that, you know, mentors possess. You know, and I really think you're influencing a lot of people directly and indirectly. So how you feel about that?
It feel good because almost everywhere I go, people starting to recognize me. But it'd be weird because I ain't even a talker.
Yeah.
Definitely ain't a talker.
Yeah.
I get that. You definitely ain't a talker, but yeah, I mean that's a good point, Warren. But and this shows you that, you know what I mean, you came through sports, but you found another lane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like goes back to my point, like everybody's not gonna go pro, but all the stuff you're gonna gain from being involved. You know what I mean? The mentorship, the leadership skills, the creativeness, the communications, all the stuff that you can learn, just being part of a team. Being able to deal with tough situations and not lose your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like be able to deal with people hating, and still being passionate. Because I know you felt it before. I felt it before. But not letting that move you because you had people guiding you. Like, man, stay on your job. Right. You doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? So, I think what you're doing is great, man. And I think you have to continue doing that. Yeah. And I think like you big, right? But when you make it big, make sure you pour back into the community. You know what I mean? Make sure you always stay connected, because that's what I'm real big on with people that get successful. Yeah. Stay connected, because you want to inspire them. I mean, I see you inspiring them all the time. How did that make you feel when kids come up to you asking you can I see your camera? Can I look at your camera? Can I take a picture? How did that make you feel?
Man, it felt good. They be asking for autographs, pictures.
So you like a celebrity.
Yeah, lightweight celebrity. I ain't even lightweight, bro. You certified.
Yeah, mess with the Steelers. You did something with the Eagles too, right?
Yeah, I've been working with NFL flag a little bit.
Yeah.
So hopefully that can come up more.
The biggest organization you work with, Imani, right?
Yeah.
that PA State title holder. You feel me? Like, you know, the boy shoots all our videos, and he makes sure we looking right coming out. Let me ask you this. So, you shoot so many videos. You can't be everywhere at the same time, right? What's the magic behind that? Do you got a team? Do you work with any of your friends? Like, what does that look like? What does the DREAMSHOTS
media conglomerate made up?
What does it look like?
Sometimes I got 2 cameras now, so like sometimes if my friends are free, I'll send them somewhere, or I'll hit up a photographer or videographer I'm cool with, ask them to go cover something for me, and just pay them real quick.
Boss.
So you got like a legit business structure going on right here.
Yeah, still building it, but it's getting there.
Still building it. What's your plans for the future?
I kind of want to move out of Pittsburgh, but I'm not sure yet. Move out of Pittsburgh or travel to cover.
We gonna make sure you move out of Pittsburgh, man. You might have to have 2 zip codes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I see for you, you know, because I'm a visionary. I see a DREAMSHOT studio somewhere here in Pittsburgh, you know, and wherever else you're going to go end up, you know, and I really believe that what you've done, you've set a precedence where you could teach these things that you're self-taught. It's so inspiring that, you know, you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old kids picking up cameras, bro. You know what I mean?
And that's impactful, man. Like,
your presence alone is impactful.
Yeah,
like,
I want you to know, like, you have a major strong voice, man. Like, when you dealing with the youth and you can move hundreds of kids at one time, that's more impactful than a YMCA. That's more impactful than a Boys and Girls Club.
That's a fact.
That's more impactful than all these big name organizations that have been doing it for a minute, because you genuinely got it from the mud.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't forget that, and don't ever, you know what I'm saying? Because let me just speak on this with this All-Star stuff.
Oh yeah.
Cause I feel like no matter what, everybody should be supporting you, because you came through our youth football organization, right? You came through the youth football in the city, and you are responsible for a lot of people, a lot of kids getting these offers right now.
Being recognized.
I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. Like, the talent's there. Yeah, these kids has talent, but the exposure, man, you are responsible for that. So I feel like anybody who tries to hate on you, sideways smirk, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like
that ain't it.
That just ain't a good look, man. I feel like, man, don't let that discourage you, and don't react off of it. Don't be like, man, you know what I mean? Just keep doing what you're doing, because can't nobody stop what you got going. You know what I mean? Because when you genuine, you know what I'm saying, it's going to always make it through. When you got a good heart, you're going to always rise to the top. So I just want to say that to you, man. Give you your young flyers right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's a big deal, because that All-Star game, man, you remember years ago when I was like, you need to do that Hansfield?
Yeah.
You probably could do that now.
Yeah.
You probably plugged into where you be like, you know what, we're going to do that Hansfield next year. I'm telling you, you can take it to the next level.
So look, real quick, while we even talking about it, speak on some of the things you've already done for the community. Like, you've done combines, you've done all-star games. Speak a little bit about the inspiration behind that and why you've done that.
The combine started from my cousin Telly and Lil Telly. I was really following him. When I picked up a camera, I wanted to follow him because that was like one of my favorite players to watch.
Shoes,
yeah.
Gold shoes.
Electric.
So, the 1 year I reached out to the league and asked them, can I do like the MVP? So that's really how everything started. I wanted to put my name on the trophy for real.
Yeah.
And just give kids a memory.
And then the combine just got bigger and bigger each year, right?
Yeah, it started getting more kids from different communities.
You was doing giveaways.
Yeah.
Like, how did you go about doing that? Like, how did you, like, you got sponsorship or something, or?
Yeah. So now that I'm getting farther and I know how to start reaching out to people more, just put together an email, tell them what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then now that I got a little more of a buzz, it's kind of starting to get easier to get more sponsors.
Okay, all right.
So when you say buzz, what's your view count looking like on
count.
that social media? What's that view count, man? What's one of your biggest videos? What's the numbers on that?
Like 1.5 million.
1.5 mil.
1.5.
So if you an advertiser, 1.5 million, get at your man. You know, he'll put you in front of
1.5 million, cuz.
That's just
almost
this
2
year
million people.
On the Hill video when they pulled out them uniforms.
Chuggy Dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. 1.5 million. See, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you have a significant kind of impact. If you say you trying to do something, a lot of people's gonna follow and support you, man.
That's a fact.
And this, what I want you to do with this though, is use that to help some of these kids not fall down the wrong path. Mm-hmm. Always keep that in mind when you are making your moves on how can you show kids a different way. Mm-hmm. And you have shown it. You have shown that it's worked, man, and that you show that this mentorship works. Mm-hmm. Because you already said the people that impacted you. Mm-hmm. And you have one of the most devastating loss a person can have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you didn't follow a path because these people impacted your life. Mm-hmm. And that is significant. And I can't tell you how many kids I coach who lost a parent or lost both parents. Yeah. Whether that's to incarceration or to the grave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
because that trauma is real.
That's real trauma, and we're gonna get into that. You got any more questions for Dream?
Just, you know, what's going to moving forward? Like, you popping right now, so what's going to keep you motivated to continue to, you know, do what you're doing and do it just on another level?
them bigger jobs for real.
Bigger job.
Yeah.
Bigger
Them
checks.
definitely keep me motivated.
Yeah.
Definitely seeing the kids is always, because it's always love coming straight from them.
Yeah.
They my biggest supporters for sure.
Do you feel that, is that like the fuel for you when you get the love for the kids?
Yeah, definitely.
True.
The love ain't no love like it. I'm telling you, because me and Coach Moo, we still get the love. Like kids we coach on baby twerps, we still coach one and still coach Moo. You know, we still one phone call away. We still, you know, got major love from those kids, and then even, you know, some kids are bringing their little brothers, their cousins, you know, their sons to us, you know, for the same thing. And so, you know, I just think that's big that you have that impact being so young. How old are you?
26.
26? Young buck, man. You doing your thing, man. We proud of you.
Appreciate
The whole
it.
city proud of you. You know, I always talk to you about the plans I got for me and you, right? You feel me? So trust and believe, Coach Vaughn moving on that, like a whole network. Like we need, it just can't be just one, just a few videos. We need our own network where we're controlling the narrative, because unfortunately here in Pittsburgh, you know, we don't really, we're not covering a lot of the athletes and a lot of the things that we could really be covering. And the fact is, you got the access, we got the access, and we just gonna turn it into a network, you know, whenever that time, whenever that time approaches us, man. So I'm excited for you. I'm cheering in the background as always.
Facts.
And whenever we could hire you and pay you for stuff, you know, you the first call. Straight
Appreciate
up,
it.
man.
Last question, because we're going to ask every guest this, and there's no right or wrong answer. We just want your thoughts about it. What are some things we could do, you know, to help prevent violence in the community?
Definitely more mentors. More activities outside of sports too, for real.
Like what, for example?
I'm not sure if they still do it. Like, I remember coming to youth places.
Okay.
That used to be super fun as a kid.
Just coming around, being around the kids. All right. I
And-
think mentoring. I think we started off with that. How important that is, man. And this is coming from one of the most influential young entrepreneurs right here, letting us know that we need more mentors, man. And that's going to help prevent the violence. So we got to put more resources into mentorship. I'm going to be a big advocate for that moving forward, because I think that's important, man. And you see the results right here. You see the results right here. This guy's working with the Steelers and the Eagles.
He is a solution.
And he's probably working with all the top high school athletes, all the top youth high school athletes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of the solutions, like Coach Moore said.
Yeah.
And I think schools need to get better subjects, kind of more stuff they teaching.
That's right.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
one of the
real.
reasons I hated school, because they is teaching us stuff we ain't care for.
Cookie cutter. Just
Yeah, and that goes back to my point earlier when I say our schools don't get the resources. Because I know there's some schools right now that they teach kids how to make apps on their phone.
They
You know
got
what I'm
crazy
saying?
media.
It's the stuff that you
department.
doing, they got a
Yeah.
whole department that's doing that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You ain't gonna find that out.
Yeah.
All the schools that really our kids go to. You know what I'm saying? So that's real important. So that's another way to get kids who ain't involved in sports in the other lanes for them to be successful. So man, we appreciate you coming out.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
y'all having me.
And good luck to you. You know we gonna always be supporting you, man. Like you one of
Absolutely.
us, so appreciate you stopping through, man.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Dream shots, man. Give it up for the boy, man.
Listen to the drum sound.
Dream shot, heard you ballin' out, hit a clean, get a clean shot. Dream shot, the shooter might as well blank the screen out. Most exclusive angles, dream shot, gon' bring the scene out. Brought the whole team out here. Dream shot, dream something bigger. Ayy, dream shot, pull up getting highlights on them hitters. Ayy, all the clips gon' be crispy when you get it. Ayy, dream shot, long live, but it business. Hey, yeah, we been filming all the ballers in the city. Hey, dream shot, cameras rolling, brought the whole committee. Hey, Pittsburgh, PA, the 412 with it. Anytime they see dream shot, they know it's gonna be lit. Hey, hit us while you can, boy, you know we gonna be busy. Hey, too much motion with it, boy, they know we gonna be dizzy. Hey, dream shots, know we on they top like a fitted. Hey, pull up with them cameras rolling, you better come with it. Hey, you, dream shot, heard you ballin' out, hit up swing, get a clean shot. Dream shot to shoot it, might as well blank the screen out. Most exclusive angles, dream shot gon' bring the scene out. Brought the whole team out, yeah. Dream shot, dream something big, ayy. Dream shot, pull up in, highlights on the middle, ayy. Yeah, all the clips gon' be crispy when you get it, ayy. Dream shot, yeah. Long live, but it business.